question I get asked as a recruiter of 8 years is, how do I find a remote job? Now, I've been mainly hiring for remote jobs for the past 8 years. I will say maybe the first year and a half of my career was not 110% remote. However, I've worked with a lot of remote first companies and startups and have done quite a bit in the recruiting space. So I'm super excited to dive on in to today's video, and there is so much to unpack here. So subscribe for all things career, and also check the description below if you want to join the career community. We are getting our dream jobs together. So let's dive on in. Number one, only look for remote first companies. I think this is so important. And a lot of people are like, oh, I want a remote job, but they don't look for remote first companies. So how are you gonna get that if that's not what you're looking for? So I want you to go on LinkedIn, Otta, O-T-T-A. That's another one that I really like. Also, Upwork. If you're into the freelance thing, or you're an entrepreneur, or trying to build something on the side, you can work a remote job and build something else. So I think that's something else that's really cool. I have a fitness business on the side, and I love building multiple things. I think that's so fun. I can still be a recruiter and hire for remote jobs, but I can still build my fitness business on the side. So you can do that too if you have a goal or a dream or passion that you want to build in the meantime of working a remote job. Go for that too. Now, with freelancing, you might be like, what's the difference, Kenz? So the difference is it's like W-2 versus 1099. You can decide what you want. There are so many W-2 jobs that are remote first that literally pay super much and give you all the flexibility. Now, there's also 1099 jobs that give you tons of flexibility and pay very well. The only difference is taxes and benefits. So you have to keep that in mind. What do you want? Freelance, you're kind of your own boss in a sense. W-2, you're more of an employee, if you will. So decide what you want. Now, pick different platforms. So I want you to go to 4dayweek.io. I want you to go to LinkedIn. I want you to optimize your LinkedIn profile. I want you to go to Otta. I don't want you to put all of your eggs in one basket. I think so many people only apply on Indeed, only apply on LinkedIn, only apply on one platform. Don't do that. Next step, once we know, hey, we are applying on multiple platforms, we are only toggling remote first companies, we know those two steps. That's amazing. Now it's time to talk resume. So let's talk resume. You want to opt for the specific type of job that you want. So you want a customer service job, only toggle your resume, create your resume around that. So highlight keywords of customer service that you've done in the past. Even if you haven't had a customer service job before, highlight things from your past jobs or past things that count as your experience to help you obtain that job. So if you're like, hey, Kenz, I'm interested in marketing, I'm interested in customer service, I'm interested in maybe 3 different main titles or 2 different main titles, have different resumes for those 2 different job titles or those 3 different job titles. So for me, I'm a recruiter, that's my bulk of my experience, but I've also done social media on the side. And I've also done stuff with my fitness business on the side. So I have a social media tailored resume, which is all truth. I've done all this social media stuff. But I also have this recruiting tailored resume because I've done all this recruiting stuff too. But I look like a social media professional with the one, and I look like a recruiting professional with the one. Can both coexist? Heck yeah, girl. But does that mean that you want to mesh them? No. Unless it's a job that's meshing the two, don't do that because you're not going to get the interview. All right, now it's time for step 3. Our resume is optimized. You could also use AI, but don't make it obvious. I reviewed thousands of resumes. Also, I've gotten 2,000 applications for one job. For one single job. I was hiring for more than 10 jobs, and each one had over 1,000 applications. So this is the next thing. Once your resume is slaying, it's tailored. Yeah, you can use a little bit of AI, but make it personal. Make it look like a person wrote it. I mean, you know the difference. I don't have to explain that. You know something that looks like AI, you know something that looks like a person. You can be the judge. So make it have data, make it have different data points. Increased hiring by 27%, or increased like whatever metric that you've done. Make sure to have that too. Okay, next thing, you have your resume, you have your remote toggle, you have the job boards. Your time is now time to apply. This is the next step. So with that being said, yes, I've had applications, 2,000 for one job. So I've reviewed more than thousands of applications as a recruiter of 8 years. I've had 2,000 for just one job in that I had to review in 1 week. So I don't even know how many applications I've reviewed. Thousands and thousands. So the next thing is you need a high volume of applications. So you can use an AI applier, but be very careful with this, because some jobs that ask, what salary do you want to make? What's your salary expectations, right? There's some applications that also ask questions like, why do you want to work for us? What's your favorite part about your job? There's actually short answer questions on a lot of these applications these days. One of the clients I worked with had, what's your favorite food and why, just for fun. And they had that to test people to see if they were using AI. And so many people, you could just tell the answer was AI. So if you're going to use an AI auto applier, just make sure to have the settings where that doesn't happen. Where it's not answering your short answer questions for you, because if it is, you might not get the job. You could. Now the next thing I will say is, one of my clients actually asked me, hey Kenz, you have more than 10,000 applications to go through. Why don't you just use AI? We'll pay for it kind of thing. So I was like, okay, perfect. So Claude will actually review your applications for you. This has never been a thing. All the time that I've been a recruiter, I manually had to review the applications, okay? And this is so crazy. There's been different filters. You could filter out if someone was in the US, if you could only hire there. You could filter out if they had certain things, but you couldn't filter this sort of thing. You couldn't have AI do the actual application review like it can now. So you have to just keep in mind your skill set on your resume, and also when you're applying, really be mindful. Okay, so once you understand, hey, you need a high volume of applications in this crazy market, next thing is apply, apply, apply. Be intentional about the jobs that you're applying to, and only apply for jobs that you're actually interested in, unless you're using an AI auto applier. There are so many pros and cons of this, and I think it can be super, super helpful. The only con is truly the short answer questions that can kind of throw them off. So that's literally the only con. I would recommend it, but just again, being mindful there. If there's a bunch of short answer questions, that might not be the best. All right, so once you have all of these things, it is time to practice interview questions once you're starting to get interviews, and it's also time to make sure that you're continuing to network. So I want you to network on LinkedIn, network on different social media platforms, and always just be thinking of your career in that way, because you never know who you get to work with and what fun opportunities you're able to have. I know TikTok has created some really fun opportunities, and work should be enjoyable, and that's why I'm through and through as a recruiter of 8 years. I'm just you have to enjoy your job. I think that's so. I hope this video helped you out. I will link everything down below. And if you want to join the Career Tea with Kenzie Lee community, please join us. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be all of us supporting each other in getting new jobs and whatnot. So it's going to be all linked down below if you wanted to join, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know any specific career questions that you have, or anything specific that you want me to break down. I can do a dedicated video on resume, interview prep, or anything of that sort, so definitely let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!